Hello everyone, welcome to my channel SW Metro official channel.
Finally, Robyn's daughter Aurora escapes with a stash of Kody's money. The real cause of this sister-wives star's constant clinging to Janelle, Christine, and Kody. The tumultuous relationships on sister wives are well known, especially when one cast member struggles to get along with the others. In 2010, the popular reality show that followed Kody Brown and his three wives, Mary, Janelle, and Christine Brown, made its debut. Sister Wives Season 1 highlighted Kody's courtship of his fourth wife, Robyn Brown, with Kody putting in a significant effort into this new marriage. His devotion to his fourth wife made his other wives feel like they were being neglected and admired. Kody began to drift apart from his first three wives, Mary, Janelle, and Christine, as his obsession with Robyn grew over time. The stress that resulted from their failing marriage was dealt with differently by each family wife. Mary stood out the most when she unknowingly fell for someone she met through social media, who turned out to be a catfish. After years of silence, she finally found the strength in 2023 to end her relationship with Kody. Mary made the brave decision to move out of Flagstaff, Arizona, and spend the rest of her life traveling and running her own bed and breakfast in Utah. Mary has become more self-assured over the past few months, starting her own business, Worthy Up, and getting back into the dating scene. Mary was insufficiently assertive. Mary disagreed with other members of her family for a number of different reasons, but the main problem was that she let everyone abuse her. She remained submissive, which was exploited by others in the family until the very end. Whether it was Kody, who tried to convince Mary that she deserved the smallest portion of the Coyote Pass property, or Christine, who questioned Mary's makeup choices, everyone in the Brown family attempted to assert their dominance over her. Mary, on the other hand, was passive, which frequently resulted in other manifestations of rage. Her relationship with Kody provides an illustration of this. While Kody kept her around with mixed signals, Mary frequently gave him the benefit of the doubt. She spent decades in an unloving marriage due to her inability to speak up. In 2025, Mary's struggle to develop a strong relationship with Janelle and Christine continues. Mary showed ongoing passive-aggressive behavior toward her former sister wives by not being enthusiastic about Christine's wedding to David Woolley. Surprises abound in Mary's arguments in the past. Mary has been at odds with several members of her family, whether it was over the land at Coyote Pass or about her decision to get dressed first thing in the morning. Christine told the story about how Kody melted Mary's ring a few years ago. This made Mary angry and publicly criticized Christine for telling a story that she didn't believe was hers. Mary appears to still harbor resentment from previous events, which causes her to engage in unexpected ongoing arguments with her former family members. Is Mary a bad person? Mary's behavior suggests that, unlike Kody, she is a victim of circumstances that have made it difficult for her to connect with the majority of her family. She has been accused of being a bad parent by others, despite only being close to a small number of the Brown family's children. Janelle and Christine got into arguments because she tried so hard to make her relationship with Kody work. Kody was also driven away by her unrelenting efforts to salvage her marriage. The sister wives star only managed to form a friendship with Robyn in the end, but even that relationship ended when Robyn split from Kody. Mary's journey from foundation to friction. When Sister Wives began, Mary was the only legal wife of Kody Brown. She had been married to him since 1990 and, along with Janelle and later Christine, helped establish the large plural family in Utah. As the first wife, Mary held a certain level of authority and emotional closeness with Kody that the other wives couldn't immediately access. However, that closeness was not enough to prevent her from slowly becoming an outsider as the years went by. The addition of Robyn Brown in 2010 marked a turning point for Mary. While Mary initially championed Robyn joining the family, and even played a critical role in encouraging Kody to court her, the outcome was far from what she expected. Instead of Robyn bringing unity, her presence exacerbated the cracks already forming within the Brown household, especially for Mary. The passive role that backfired. One of the biggest critiques Mary faced from other family members, and from viewers, was her inability to assert herself effectively. Mary often remained quiet in moments when speaking up might have helped, choosing to internalize her emotions rather than express them. While this may have been an attempt to keep peace in an already strained plural marriage, it often came across as distant or even manipulative. Janelle, in particular, clashed with Mary over this communication style. In several earlier episodes, the two women revealed they never truly bonded, despite raising their children together under the same roof. Their personalities simply didn't mesh. Janelle was more independent, practical, and focused on self-sufficiency, while Mary often seemed emotional and reactive. Christine, on the other hand, viewed Mary with suspicion. She frequently questioned Mary's intentions and choices, whether about parenting, dressing, or personal space. Their biggest blow-ups revolved around trust. Christine admitted she didn't feel safe being vulnerable around Mary, and that tension simmered for years. Kody's mixed signals and emotional manipulation. Kody Brown's treatment of Mary did little to help her reputation within the family. While he started their marriage with love and commitment, he gradually drifted away from her emotionally. The final nail in the coffin was the infamous catfishing incident in 2015, when Mary formed an emotional relationship with someone online who turned out to be a fraud. Rather than support Mary through the fallout, Kody used the incident to emotionally detach. He accused her of betrayal while continuing to lead her on with mixed messages, inviting her on family trips, giving her hope of reconciliation, and then publicly declaring that their marriage was over. These inconsistencies left Mary feeling confused and emotionally paralyzed. She didn't know whether to wait for Kody or move on. That confusion spilled into her relationships with Christine and Janelle, who resented Mary's emotional roller coasters and saw her indecision as a threat to their own stability. The Coyote Pass controversy. The saga of Coyote Pass land ownership brought underlying tensions to the surface. When the Brown family moved to Flagstaff, Arizona, with the dream of building homes on shared land, it was seen as a chance for a fresh start. But as time passed and the lots remained undeveloped, resentment festered. Kody's favoritism toward Robyn became painfully clear when he began pushing for her to have a larger house or share of the property. In the midst of this, he also pressured Mary to accept a smaller portion of land, arguing that she didn't need as much space because she had no children living at home. Mary accepted this without a fight, at least publicly, which only fueled more gossip and isolation. Janelle and Christine saw Mary's compliance as weakness, while fans saw it as another example of how poorly she was treated. But in Mary's eyes, it was likely an act of quiet rebellion, her way of saying, "Fine, take it all. I'm not playing this game anymore." Strained sisterhood, why Mary couldn't connect. While Mary had long-standing issues with both Janelle and Christine, her fallout with Robyn in 2023 shocked fans the most. Robyn had been the only wife Mary was close to. At one point, they considered themselves true friends. Robyn advocated for Mary more than any of the other wives and seemed to encourage Kody to treat Mary better. But that closeness began to crumble once Mary officially separated from Kody. As Mary distanced herself from the plural marriage, she began focusing on her own business, Worthy Up, and spending more time in Utah. Robyn, still committed to the idea of plural family unity, may have seen this as abandonment. Their friendship cooled, with Robyn reportedly feeling betrayed by Mary's departure. The real issue, however, may lie in Mary's passive-aggressive behavior. She would avoid confrontation yet hold on to grudges for years, allowing resentment to fester. Christine once recalled Mary being upset about a ring Kody melted down and accusing her of sharing private stories. These seemingly small issues grew into larger conflicts, often resurfacing in explosive arguments or frosty silences. A lonely road, Mary and the kids. Another reason Mary has struggled to connect is her tenuous relationships with some of the Brown children. While she is close to her own daughter, Leon, her interactions with other children in the family are more strained. Over the years, some of the kids have hinted at distance or awkwardness with Mary. This may be due to her status as the first wife, which carried with it a certain authoritarian vibe in the early years. Children from Janelle and Christine often bonded more with each other than with Mary or Leon. And when Mary withdrew emotionally after her issues with Kody escalated, her role as a family matriarch began to fade. Was Mary the real villain? Or just misunderstood? The question fans continue to ask is whether Meri was ever truly in the wrong, or simply the most misunderstood figure in the Brown family. In many ways, she was both victim and participant. She let herself be sidelined for years, hoping for things to change, and when they didn't, she lashed out in small, often confusing ways. Her inability to confront Kody head-on allowed him to manipulate her emotions. Her failure to build meaningful bridges with Christine and Janelle kept her isolated. And even her friendship with Robyn, once her only real alliance, fell apart once Meri began reclaiming her independence. Meri's new life in 2025, a rebirth? Now, in 2025, Meri has begun living her life on her own terms. She runs Lizzie's Heritage Inn in Utah, has launched her empowerment brand Worthy Up, and recently hinted at exploring the dating scene again. This transformation has empowered her fans but also led to deeper divides with her former sister wives. When Christine married David Woolley in 2023, Meri didn't seem excited or even particularly engaged. She shared no public congratulations and didn't attend with the same enthusiasm as others. This coldness suggests that Meri is still carrying emotional baggage from past conflicts, and possibly still feels left out. She may no longer be trying to fit in, but the emotional scars remain. Her clashes with Janelle and Christine were never resolved, they were just buried beneath the surface of a fractured family system. The real reason behind the clashes. So, what is the real reason Meri keeps clashing with Kody, Christine, and Janelle? Unresolved grief. Meri never fully processed the emotional loss of her marriage to Kody. She clung to hope longer than anyone else, which made her eventual breakup more painful. Communication breakdown. Her passive communication style often led to misunderstandings. Rather than express anger directly, she would retreat or act out subtly. Lack of emotional support. While Christine and Janelle had each other to lean on, Meri was emotionally isolated, especially after the catfishing incident. Perceived favoritism. Kody's neglect of Meri and preference for Robyn made her feel unseen and undervalued, further straining her connections. Internal resentment. Her inability to move past old wounds caused tension to build over time. Past events were never forgiven or forgotten, they were stored and later used to justify emotional distance. Conclusion. The unhealed wounds of sister wives. Meri Brown's story is a cautionary tale of emotional suppression, miscommunication, and the high cost of silence. While many fans sympathize with her for enduring a loveless marriage and being emotionally neglected by Kody, others have noted how her behavior toward Christine and Janelle often lacked warmth or support. In the end, Meri was not the villain, nor was she the hero. She was a woman trapped in a deeply dysfunctional system who coped in the only way she knew how, by withdrawing, holding on to control where she could, and finally choosing herself. As Sister Wives continues into its new season, one thing is clear, Meri's chapter with the Brown family may be over, but the emotional consequences of that chapter will continue to reverberate through every storyline that follows. Whether she ever truly reconciles with Christine, Janelle, or even Robyn remains to be seen, but for now, Meri walks alone, and perhaps, for the first time, that's a good thing. Aurora Brown has never been one of the loudest personalities on Sister Wives. Unlike Gwendolyn, who vlogs her feelings openly, or Maddie, who carved a life for herself in North Carolina, Aurora has often remained silent and deeply loyal to her mother, Robyn. She's Robyn's biological daughter, adopted by Kody, and often portrayed as sensitive, anxious, and tightly bound to her mother's apron strings. Robyn once mentioned that Aurora suffers from anxiety. It wasn't unusual to see her in the background of scenes, quietly observing family chaos but never directly confronting it. Over the years, she was painted as the good girl who obeyed rules, helped raise her siblings, and stayed loyal to her mother and Kody, even as the Brown family collapsed around her. But was this obedience masking something deeper? Sources close to the family have hinted that Aurora was never fully on board with the way Robyn managed her life. From being homeschooled in an environment that many critics called too controlling, to being kept at home well into her 20s, Aurora may have begun to quietly rebel. The signs were subtle: social media absences, limited outside friends, and an unshakable image of a daughter caught between loyalty and personal identity. So what changed? Chapter 2, Kody Brown's financial fallout and mounting pressure. Kody Brown's finances have been a sister-wives mystery for years. Once juggling 4 wives, several homes, and an ever-growing list of children, his empire has been shrinking. The Coyote Pass drama drained him emotionally and likely financially. Christine left. Janelle demanded her share.